I spoke with Kenny Polcari, founder and CEO of Kace Capital Advisors and also a former 35-year member of the New York Stock Exchange.
If you can make sense of what's going on, please let me know, because it's very confusing here, right? Yes, I think a lot of it was driven by the Trump tariffs and the pace at which he's trying to impose these tariffs and what it really means. Certainly we saw after he announced them on Wednesday night, we saw the markets under pressure Thursday, again on Friday, overnight, certainly Sunday night into Monday. It felt like it was going to be really, really ugly today. And it actually started out that way. We traded right down to 4,800. I think with the low was 4,835 today, where it found some significant support. And then we had that rally on the back of some fake news about CNBC reported that the White House was going to halt the tariffs for 90 days, and suddenly the market just took off, did a complete 180 in all of about 3 minutes, went from negative to positive all over, and then the White House came out and certainly said it was fake news, not true at all, and then the market turned south again. So what that tells you is the market's really anxious, it's skittish. It's not really sure, it's uncertain, and the market hates uncertainty, right? It can deal with the news, good or bad, it can deal with it. What it can't deal with is all the uncertainty that causes stocks to kind of trend lower, because people just when they get uncertain, they get afraid, they get fearful, and they say, I want out.
So the interesting thing about this, I'm surprised that the market's surprised, because surely the thing I learned is what Donald Trump says is what Donald Trump will try to do. And yet the markets have been 100%. Surprised by the tariffs. And that's one thing that to me is a bit of a shock in itself.
Well, I agree with you, right? The way he presented it the other night, it seemed fairly legitimate to me. But there's been a lot of controversy on how we got those numbers, what the actual tariff numbers are versus what he presented to us, how they came up with the tariffs that we're going to impose on them. So there's been a lot of conversation about how he got the numbers and speculation that they basically pulled the numbers out of a hat, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. He's got a lot of very smart people around him. I can't believe they just decided to pull numbers out of a hat and go, ooh, maybe no one will notice. That doesn't make sense at all. Yet it is a visceral reaction. The way the media paints it over here is that the tariffs were much worse than anyone expected, and that's what kind of fueled the fire. Now, look, he hasn't blinked an eye. He's not paying attention to it. When he's asked about, is he worried about the market selling off? He goes, no. He said at some point the market's going to have to correct because it can't sustain the way we were going. And so far there are 50 different countries apparently that are knocking on his door trying to come to the table and renegotiate. Not necessarily say, okay, I give up, but they want to renegotiate. And I think that's a positive.